With the departure of DJ Chark, the Detroit Lions have a decision to make in the 2023 NFL Draft. We went from all defense in the first round to now we could probably have we have to have some offense in that first round, or at least so we will think. DJ Chark leaving. A lot of you in the comment section don't think it's a big deal. Well, I'm going to show you why it might be a bigger deal than you might think when it comes to how this is going to affect your Detroit Lions. Not only the chemistry with Jared Goff, but how the ripple effect. As I was doing my live stream, I realized why Brad Holmes was probably waiting as long as he was, knowing that we have a GM that does not tolerate. When he says something, it needs to be done. We gave Jamal a deadline. He missed it, or whatever. He tried to play chicken, and he lost out. Now, why did we wait 11 days to potentially sign DJ Chark just to see him walk away to the Carolina Panthers? I think it's because the Detroit Lions, Brad Holmes knew how much DJ Chark staying or going was going to affect the NFL Draft. I think that this now 100% rules out a quarterback anywhere in the first round. If you wanted a quarterback, not going to happen. Bijan Robinson is probably not going to happen. Those two things I don't think are happening at all at the offensive position. Here's who I think the Detroit Lions are going to get as DJ Chark's replacement. I believe that we're going to bring in a free agent, maybe a Kenny Galladay, somebody like that on a one-year deal, just to add to the depth of the team. Out of our 8 picks, I think 3 will now be used on offense, and I think 3 will be used at defense. The 3 offensive will be wide receiver, running back somewhere later in the draft, and a quarterback later in the draft as well. The replacement that I think is that the Lions are looking at is wide receiver out of TCU, Quentin Johnston. Quentin Johnston is 6'3", 208 pounds, and these were his stats for last year. He had 60 receptions, 1,069 yards, 6 TDs, with an average of 17.8. And if we look at where he ranks as far as Tankathon is concerned, in a lot of people's big board, he is the second-rated wide receiver to come off the board. 21.5. Tankathon has him going to Green Bay. Now, we cannot let that happen. We cannot let that happen. We cannot let him go to the Chicago Bears. Here was his offensive production while he was in college. Last year was really his breakout year. This is what is amazing about this, really, is the average per catch, all over 17. His average was 19 yards per catch. If we go back to Tankathon and we look at their mock draft, they have the Green Bay Packers picking him up. He could also go to any one of these teams, but the 2 teams that I don't want him to go to would be obviously the Chicago Bears. They could still use some help at wide receiver, and of course, the Green Bay Packers. Now, what I think is going to happen here is we have to ask ourselves another question. Brad Holmes, he traded up for Jameson Williams. If he really wants a guy, he's going to trade up for that guy. Will he trade up again for Quentin Johnston? There's a possibility that he could literally go anywhere between where we pick at 6 and where we pick again at 18. Will the Detroit Lions want to move up and snag him? I think he's going to come off the board between 10 and 16 for sure. 16, 17. Is Brad Holmes looking to get him and putting some capital together? Now, we won't have to move up as far as we would have before for Jameson Williams, so the capital wouldn't be that much. How many picks will be this year that we would have to give up? And definitely some picks next year. This is going to have a huge ripple effect on the Detroit Lions and their draft. You can rule out, like I said before, a quarterback in the first round. You can rule out a running back in the first round because now we have bigger pressing needs than either one of those guys. We need a backup quarterback. We do. We need a running back for potentially DeAndre Swift leaving. But now, to me, this is a huge ripple effect because it keeps DeAndre Swift on the team, most likely, instead of some type of midseason trade, if he picked up any trade value. It also rules out a quarterback. So if you wanted AR-15, if you wanted the Lions the Detroit Lions cleared up a bunch of cap space yesterday with restructuring Big V. And I'm wondering, was that a last push at DJ Chark? DJ Chark said in his post, as he said goodbye to Detroit, that it was the chance that he got in Carolina was second to none. Could mean the money, could also mean the chance to be a number one. We actually played them this year at Ford Field, so that should be interesting. But I think that while this opens up the door for J-Mo, it creates a void as well that now the Detroit Lions have to fill. And in my honest opinion, if you want the offense that we had last year, we have to get a DJ Chark replacement. And it has to come from the draft. There is possibility that Brad could trade for somebody that he really has his eye on, and then everything stays the same, maybe in that first round. If you wanted a quarterback, if you wanted a running back, if you wanted anybody else in the first round, that now you don't have to take a wide receiver because you traded for one, but you gave up some capital in the back end. So the signing of the loss of DJ Chark was bigger than you may have imagined. Yeah, Chark was this, Chark was that. And I genuinely believe, and I said this during my live stream, that Chark hustled the Detroit Lions. Brad Holmes paid him $10 million all guaranteed. The salary cap hit is going to be spread over 2 years. Okay. So this year, next year. Remember, Chark took himself out. He decided that in the middle of the season, he was going to get his ankle right. So he took some time off. They put him on injured reserve. He came off and he got healthy. Now he re-signs with another team. So that's in my honest belief that he hustled the Detroit Lions and Brad was hustled. That's just how it was. But Brad knew the risk when he signed DJ Chark. But again, I'm just a dude sitting in his basement making YouTube videos, and those are my thoughts. So let me know what yours is in the comments below. My name is Derek. This is Detroit Lions Syndicate. Consider subscribing to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. I would appreciate that. The Lions they're going to have to make a move for a wide receiver, and I think it's going to be this young man right here, Quentin Johnston, out of TCU, big body. I think he's going to be the DJ Chark replacement. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, go Lions.